Imagine a world where breaking a whisper could put a target on your back, where the slightest noise sounds the alarm and surrenders your location to an army of aliens that invaded your planet. A Quiet Place follows the journey of a small family who have survived the initial invasion of an alien species and have to figure out new ways to survive against these aliens who rely on sound to see and hunt. To be honest, there's something about having to stay quiet that I kind of like. I mean, I'm sure it would be tough, but at the same time, I think it could be nice. Think about it. No cars with mega speakers blaring down the road, no construction noise, no phone calls. It sounds ideal to me, almost like an extended retreat, a paradise of sorts. The story follows the survival of the Abbott family, with Lee and Evelyn Abbott being played by John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Early on in the film, the family loses their youngest child to the invaders after the child's innocent desire for play leads to his death. The audience and characters are made aware very early on of the brutal reality that they now exist in. The two older children are left scarred and in constant fear for their safety, with the ever-present possibility of making noise. Regan, the oldest, is born deaf, giving the family an advantage over many other people in the world who don't know sign language. The film builds up to the final showdown at the family's compound, where the family faces off against a horde of aliens. Things keep going wrong, and sound keeps betraying them. A Quiet Place is one of my favorite films of all time, if not top 3, beating out films like Dune, Inception, and Schindler's List. The film portrays some really fantastic themes throughout, with self-sacrificial love being the central feature of the story. Of course, you have the daily goings-on of Krasinski's character, scavenging for food and supplies in nearby towns, always at risk of something going wrong or something being knocked off a shelf, alerting the invaders. Beyond that, Emily Blunt's character is pregnant in the film, which adds several layers to the plot and the main theme. It begs the obvious question, how they're going to have a newborn in a world where you can't make any noise. The film shows their solution, which is an underground sound bunker which has been retrofitted and supplied with water and other essentials. But it also asks the question, why would they do that? Why would they have a child in a world so hostile to them? A world which at the slightest slip of the tongue could come crashing down on them. And that's the real beauty of this film, and one of the reasons why it's so high on my list. Above all, A Quiet Place shows the value of human life. That even if the world is dead set against you and you have no idea what might happen, it's always worth giving life a chance. Human life is worth whatever risk you might see. It's a truly amazing stance for a film coming out of Hollywood to take. And it's really one of the last great films that Hollywood has produced. Of course, the baby decides to come at the worst time imaginable. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong. The kids are being hunted around the property, the baby is coming, Krasinski's character is trying to draw the aliens away. It's an extremely intense sequence, which comes to a peak when the baby comes. At that moment, with the aliens just around the corner from Blunt's character and the baby, fireworks are set off in the compound, drawing the aliens away from everyone. The audience is able again to take a breath, but not for long, because as the family gathers together, the aliens return and Krasinski's character, true to the values established earlier in the film, makes the ultimate sacrifice of himself for his family. This is such a heart-wrenching and powerful scene. Just when you thought everyone would make it out safely, you're once again reminded of the unforgiving and brutal world they now exist in. But even in the dark, the light shines through. The film shows that not only is human life worth taking a risk for, it's worth dying for. It's worth sacrificing yourself for. Like I said, it's a very powerful and beautiful story. It's interesting how something so dark and seemingly hopeless can turn into something with so much light. Now, obviously, you end on a truly sad note with Krasinski's character making that sacrifice, but the rest of the family is freed from danger, and as the sequel shows, they make it to another compound with more people. And of course, you have all the characteristics of a great film with amazing cinematography, amazing acting, amazing set designs, amazing CGI, amazing lighting. Technically, this film is excellent. So that's why A Quiet Place is in my top 3 films of all time. What are your top 3 films of all time? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe to see more film related content and to help my channel grow. And I will see you next week.